Are you an a-hole? Are you a bumhole? Are you a chocolate starfish? Are you a fudge factory? Are you are you a freak in the cheeks? If you're any of those things, this video might scare you, because today we're gonna look at potential a-holes on Reddit. Hi, I'm gabihudz. Join me on an adventure through the Am I the Asshole subreddit on Reddit. We're going to look at the most controversial posts of all time, and we're going to try and guess if the person's an asshole from the title alone, make our verdict after reading the post, and we'll also see what other people think as well. Am I the a-hole for dropping my daughter from my wife and I's medical insurance? I mean, sounds like one already. My daughter is 23 and just got a call from her gynecologist. She apparently had previously had an abnormal pap smear that she'd never informed us about. However, she then got a biopsy which came back abnormal and she probably needs leaps. I don't even know what that is. And I have a vagina. I'm very disappointed because I know she got HPV from a boyfriend I disapproved of because he was obviously someone who didn't look like he'd be loyal.
What do you mean by that?
And now she's stuck with the consequences, and my wife and I feel like if we pay for her treatment, it would be condoning it. Or it could be looking after your daughter. We feel like she has no right to be sobbing and hyperventilating while also going on the "it's not my fault" mantra, and we don't want to enable her further. Now we're making steps towards ensuring that we never have to pay for anything she needs medically, and for that matter materially anymore. Her credit cards have been cut off, but the dropping from insurance process hasn't progressed that far. What makes us even angrier is the fact that she had lost her entry-level job due to her company closing down, and she chooses to continue to see unreliable boyfriends. We raised her better. I built a great family business from nothing, and I shudder at what people would think if they knew my daughter got an STD from sleeping around at such a young age. Am I the asshole? Yeah, you're the asshole! So first of all, it went from her having a boyfriend that didn't look loyal, and that's her fault, to now saying she sleeps around and got an STD. All you need to do is sleep with someone once who got an STD of someone else. I feel so bad for his daughter. Like, imagine you trust your boyfriend, he gives you an STD, you're heartbroken, and your dad's like, well, we're not going to help you out with this. We're taking you off our medical insurance. F*** you, my business matters more. Definitely an asshole, and of course he got voted as an asshole. Am I the asshole for not going to my boyfriend's granddad's funeral because my boyfriend didn't wear underwear? I would say asshole because you're not going to your boyfriend's granddad's funeral, so you're not being supportive. My 23 fuchsia boyfriend, 27 maroon, of 4 years, doesn't wear underwear ever and hasn't since he was a kid. He doesn't even own any underwear. He thinks underwear is uncomfortable and restrictive. At the beginning of our relationship, I encouraged him to try different styles and cuts and sizes of underwear, but he was very adamant that he tried all the types of underwear and it just isn't for him. Fair enough. It hasn't really been an issue of our relationship. I was worried he'd smell bad because of it, but he's actually a pretty clean guy and washes his clothes regularly and stuff. I don't think skimping out on underwear would make you smell unless you wore the exact same clothes every single day. It probably will build up some groinal bacteria. Recently, my boyfriend's granddad died and my boyfriend was obviously distraught. I was very supportive, but on the day of the funeral, he got dressed like normal, no underwear. And when I told him I wasn't going unless he wore underwear, he thought I was joking and told me that I harping on about nonsense to a grieving man. He doesn't wear underwear because it's not comfortable. And now on the day of a funeral, you want him to wear something that makes him uncomfortable. He reminded me he didn't have any underwear. We were a 2-minute walk from a Primark and I offered to grab some for him. Also, we were staying with his parents and 2 brothers, so he could have borrowed a pair of them. But I told him it was disrespectful to not wear any underwear to a funeral. He said it was fine because it's his own suit and not a rented suit, and no one would be looking at his crotch, but it made me uncomfortable, so I didn't go. When he got back, he was pissed off at me and gave me the silent treatment. His parents were angry at me too and told me it was such an inappropriate thing to think about at his granddad's funeral. They also didn't believe he doesn't wear underwear and that I let down my boyfriend when it mattered most. It's been a week and I'm back at our place while my boyfriend is still with his parents. I'm feeling a bit guilty about this, but am I the asshole? Yes. Why are you dating someone when a simple thing that he does to keep himself comfortable annoys you this much? Sometimes it's nice to not wear underwear when you're wearing like leggings and stuff. It just feels extra fleet. Whoa, it feels extra fleet. What is wrong with me? Extra free down there. If he wore underwear all the time and then went, I'm going commando at my granddad's funeral, that would be weird. Oh, of course. Also, everyone voted her an asshole as well. Am I the asshole for telling my sister-in-law that it's rude to crochet everywhere? I am going to assume Not the asshole, because I'm going to assume the sister-in-law is crocheting all the time at really inappropriate moments, like during Granddad's funeral. My sister-in-law does crochet. It's literally become her personality. She started doing it after her and my brother experienced a second trimester loss earlier in the year. Now she does it everywhere. I work in the same place she does, and I've seen her crocheting at her desk during her breaks and lunch. My brother says it's how she relaxes. Apparently it helps calm her busy mind. Fair enough. Totally fair enough. Finding a healthy hobby when you've got a very busy mind is probably one of the best ways to deal with it. Plus it's creative, so you're being productive as well. Every week or so we have family dinners over at my parents' house. Since sister-in-law has been crocheting, she brings it with her. She just sits in the corner after dinner working on a project. My brother often sits with her and they'll talk quietly. Both her and my brother are quite introverted. If she ends up sitting with my wife or another sister-in-law, she's crocheting. I recently invited her and my brother to watch a film at mine, and again she was sat crocheting through the whole film. It's rude because she's not paying attention to anyone. Okay, that is a bit tougher. If you're introverted, you're introverted. You know, you can't really help that. And, you know, maybe the film was shit. I would actually find that annoying if I was watching a film and I can hear these little clingy needles. But I've got misophonia. I don't like little noises like that. Tonight my brother posted a picture of them where they were out having a couple of drinks in the pub. Yet again she was crocheting. It was on the table in the picture. In the comments she was joking with her friends that she'll be able to see where on her work in progress that she got drunk, as it'll all be dropped stitches and she'll have to start again. Her social media is full of posts about crochet, about what she's working on, the yarn or patterns she's bought, or the trips she and my brother take to go to specific yarn stores. I've had enough of her being rude, and I commented under that post that it's rude that she kept crocheting everywhere and that she needed to stop being so antisocial all the time. Okay, there's better ways to deal with things that piss you off, especially when they're harmless. She didn't comment back, but one of her friends did, telling me to F off and that she can crochet whatever and whenever she wants. I responded by saying, in that case, crocheting is banned from my house and she'll have to socialise in future. My brother deleted my comments before sister-in-law got to see them. I know this because he told me when he messaged me that I was being a prick and her crocheting wasn't hurting anyone. Exactly. He said that she's currently crocheting all the time because she's making gifts for her family and friends. BS, because we don't do gifts for adults in the family anymore. Okay, well maybe you don't, but maybe she does with her friends. He told me that they wouldn't be coming around anymore until I apologised to sister-in-law. I'm not apologising because it's rude to not be giving people your full attention. Am I the asshole for telling my sister-in-law that it's rude to crochet everywhere? I retract my statement before. I think he is an asshole because crocheting is a good thing to do, especially if you're doing gifts. Regardless of if you do gifts in families, OP. If something as harmless as that is pissing you off, have a private conversation with them. Am I the asshole for calling my sister's boyfriend stingy because he wants a cheap wedding? I'm gonna say asshole, because it's not your business what people spend on a wedding. I, 25 fish, was invited to dinner with my parents, my sister, 26 fish, and her boyfriend, 28 manta ray. For some background context, my sister's boyfriend is not poor at all and doesn't struggle with money. He makes over 300k a year for sure. My sister's boyfriend told me before dinner that he wanted to propose that night, and I wished him good luck. I was really excited to see my sister's reaction and to prepare for her engagement day. During dinner, everything was going smoothly. We were having fun and having a calm conversation. I see my sister's boyfriend starting a romantic speech, so I'm thinking this is where he's going to do it. He gets on his knees. He pulls out the ring and proposes to her. My sister gets teary and she says I do, of course, but then I noticed the ring was made of plastic. It was a toy ring. I asked him what was with the ring and he told me that he was going to get a real one soon because he wanted a specific one and was saving the money for it. I brushed it off and was like, makes sense, but then my sister started talking about her dream wedding, that it was going to be big and fancy. Her boyfriend cut her off and joked that big and fancy weddings cost a lot and that it would be better to do a close themed wedding inviting only close family. They also talked about the wedding dress and I told my sister we could go shopping anytime she wanted. Her boyfriend suggested that she should wear our mum's old wedding dress and that it would be really touching. I thought that was boring, but it wasn't my wedding. As long as my sister was fine with it, I was too. This is where it was getting ridiculous. My mum and dad were congratulating them and my dad brings up the honeymoon phase and wondered where they were thinking of doing it. My sister's boyfriend said it was better to stay here or just skip it altogether. My sister disagreed and wanted to go somewhere really romantic. I thought this guy must be joking, so I called him out for being stingy and told my sister she deserved better. That's a bit far.
Whoops, I missed this somehow. Her boyfriend got embarrassed and left the table, and my sister told me I was being rude and insensitive.
I apologised to her but told her that she had to rethink if she really wanted to be with a person like that. Wow. My sister left too, and I was left with my parents awkwardly staring at me. My mum thought it wasn't the time to bring this up and that what I said was rude. My dad told me I should have stayed out of it, but he kind of agrees. If the guy's got money and the fiance wants a big beautiful wedding and a nice dress and a nice honeymoon, bless you, why not? Maybe the guy didn't want to sit there in front of the whole family and say, yeah, I'm going to spend this on you and this on you and this on you. Some people are very shy about money, whether they've got a lot of it or they don't have a lot of it at all. So maybe he wanted to wait until they were in private so that he could talk about it. But also there's a time and a place. If someone's just got proposed to and then you say to them, you deserve better. Yeah, that's not good timing, babe. That's gonna lose you an invitation. I would say OP was the asshole because you just don't make comments like that when someone's just got engaged. The actual decision overall was everyone sucks. Why is his sister catching strays? She's just excited for a big nice wedding. Am I the asshole for eating chicken fingers at an Italian restaurant? I'm gonna assume not the asshole because it doesn't say vegetarian restaurant or vegan restaurant. So I was really guilty about this because my fiance, 27 mangoes, was angry at me. I don't like Italian food and I'm extremely picky, so I just picked chicken fingers as my fiance and my brother were ordering Italian food. My fiance was mad at me and said something like, what? This is an Italian restaurant and why did you order chicken fingers from my brother? I thought it was normal, but you decide. Was I the asshole? No. But OP added more. I have tried Italian food before and didn't like it. My fiance likes Italian food and my brother does too, so I agreed because I didn't want an argument. My fiance has OCD and wished I didn't get chicken fingers. He also said it was disrespectful. I personally might break up with him, but it's a bit hard for me to find good boyfriends, so I wanted to help him with his OCD. I have autism personally. Don't stay with someone if they've got OCD. Wait. No, that sounded awful. Don't stay with someone just because they've got OCD, is what it's meant to say. You stay with someone because you love them and you're compatible and you're happy together. Surely at that point you know your partner well enough to know that they're picky with food, especially Italian food. I personally wouldn't want to eat at a restaurant that mostly serves food that my partner doesn't like. So, yeah, not an arsehole at all. Ooh, this one looks very controversial. It's actually been deleted. Am I the arsehole for outing my brother at his wedding? Well, I'm going to say arsehole because you should never out someone. I, 24 flute, and my brother, 28 marimba, have a mutual friend, 25 marimba, who we'll call Jay. He's been my friend since middle school and we all started hanging out in junior year of high school. Jay is a gay man and had a crush on my brother ever since they first met. My brother, on the other hand, was very vocal about being straight. 5 years ago, he met his now ex-fiancée, 27 flute, who we will call May. May is a sweet, stunning lady, and I don't know how my brother bagged her, but I suppose miracles happen. Their wedding was 4 days ago, and I still feel a little bad. A day before the wedding, me and Jay were hanging out and doing outfit prep. During this, he went to the bathroom, and while he was in the bathroom, he got a text from my brother. I was curious, so I checked it, and that's how I found out that for the past 2 years, my brother has been having an affair with Jay. He proposed a year ago. It was late, and I didn't know what to do, so I decided in the morning before the wedding I would confront my brother. So far, that's a good decision, and shame on the brother and Jay for having the secret affair, and doubly shame on the brother for not being honest with anybody, including himself. When I confronted him, he told me that he wasn't going to break off his affair because he was straight, so it wasn't cheating. What? I should also mention that he told Jay he got permission from May to have their sex sessions. This was a lie. My brother used Jay's bad luck in finding partners and the fact he is crushing on him for his own pleasure, and I couldn't stand it. I was in shock. I wasn't sure what to do, but when we were asked if there were any objections, I spoke up. I said that this couldn't happen because my brother has been having an affair with Jay, and that he lied to Jay about what it was. He even told Jay not to tell anyone because he wasn't out yet, when in truth he was just toying with him. After May and Jay, that's really confusing. After May and Jay both heard the truth, they were distraught. May threw her ring and ran out of the wedding, and Jay started bawling. Now I'm getting flooded with texts, some saying I'm an asshole, some saying it wasn't the right time, some saying I did the right thing. That's not what I care about though. Jay is currently locked up in his apartment and won't talk to anyone, except the occasional thank you text for me bringing him food. My brother is furious. The one positive is that May thanked me and we have plans to go out for brunch Sunday. So Reddit, what do you think? I know I could have done some things better, but I was overwhelmed and confused. Am I the asshole? It's really difficult because obviously it was literally during the wedding, and there's definitely a time and a place. Divorces can be quite hard. Apparently it's a lot of work, so that would have sucked. But it's a shit situation all around. I just feel really bad for May. And I actually kind of feel bad for OP because they were put in this situation. Like, if they never looked at that text from her brother, then she would never have known the situation. I guess the arsehole then, because she did it in front of everybody as well, which is really bad. It's difficult. Edit. I should clarify that I didn't say it was Jay that my brother was having an affair with, and the reason I didn't tell May before was because I couldn't reach her at the time. I have no good reason I couldn't have spoken to Jay privately. I was just confused and taken aback. No excuses to be had. Okay, so there's a lot of accountability there. Another edit. To clarify, my brother is still saying he's straight and using that as an excuse. He knows it was wrong or he wouldn't have lied to Jay. True. We are surrounded by supportive people and I myself am an ally. If he wants to come out, he can, but I won't force him to. You kind of already did. Isn't there a time period between the wedding and signing the actual marriage certificate? Because maybe could have slithered in there and stopped the BS. At least May's like happy and socialising still. All we care about is May at this point. It's a complicated one. The OP was voted as an asshole and I do kind of agree. But it was a kind of shit situation to be put in. I feel like OP was damned if she did, damned if she didn't. Let's do one more. Am I the asshole for calling my brother a waste of penetration energy over ice cream? That is such a good title. And no, I'm gonna say not an asshole. I think a bar that hard must have deserved it. I, 17 Frappe, love the ice cream you can buy from the ice cream truck. This might sound stupid, but I get really excited over it because they have ice cream they don't have in our stores. The ice cream truck rarely comes to our house because we live in a pretty remote area, but we actually got the ice cream truck here a month ago. So I bought a pack of ice cream with my own money. It was pretty expensive, and my brother, 14 Mocha, ate half of it while I was out of the house. I was pissed and scolded him, but there was nothing I could do. Then last week we got the ice cream truck again. This rarely happens, especially because it's not even summer, so I bought 4 packs this time and told my brother not to eat any unless I gave him permission. And then the same thing happened again. While I was out with friends and generally just out of the house, he snuck ice cream to eat, and after 4 days he had eaten 2 of the 4 packs worth of ice cream. I was pissed. I said a lot of things. I called him a waste of penetration energy and a bunch of other things, like, I hope to God you're adopted, and I also threw a bunch of other insults before I ended up storming up to my room. Safe to say my brother started crying and now my parents are mad at me too. Everyone says it wasn't a big of a deal, but I bought the ice cream with my own money. But I also know I threw around a lot of insults. Am I the asshole? I mean, waste of penetration energy is a really good insult. If I argued with one of my siblings and they called me that, I'm not going to be mad anymore, I'm going to start laughing. But that's just me. But your brother's 14. He's a kid. I mean, so are you kind of, but he's more of a kid. He's a kid. Your brother is a kid, and you called him an inappropriate name, let's face it, because I was picturing this guy being an adult. But at the same time, he did steal stuff off you that you actually paid for, that you actually like, and you asked him specifically not to take, and he still did it. I'm assuming he said he wouldn't, and he did it. He big fat did it anyway. I would actually say not the asshole, but Reddit actually thinks everybody sucks. There you have it. Everyone sucks. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, then please like it and share it and subscribe to me and follow me on TikTok and Instagram and all that lovely stuff. Otherwise, you're an arsehole. You're a waste of penetration energy.